Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you've probably heard some of the chatter, some of the buzz around the Cleveland Browns and their head coaching situation. And trust me, this isn't just your typical coaching shuffle. No, it's a story that's got a lot of layers, a lot of what-ifs, and a lot of pressure on a coach who, just a few years ago, was riding high with a Coach of the Year award and a playoff appearance under his belt. That coach is Kevin Stefanski, and right now, he's walking a tightrope that could snap at any moment. It's wild to think about how much things can change in such a short period. Just 2 years ago, the Browns looked like they were on the rise, with Stefanski leading the charge, guiding them through a playoff run, and giving fans hope that Cleveland's long wait for a Super Bowl might finally be over. But fast forward to today, and it's a completely different story. The 2024 season was an absolute disaster. The team finished with a 3-14 record, the worst in the AFC, no less. That's a number that just stings, especially when you consider the expectations that were set before the season even began. And it's not just about the record. No, it goes much deeper than that. Injuries played a part, sure. The season-ending Achilles tear to Deshaun Watson was a massive blow, but even beyond that, the issues ran far and wide through the roster. The offense, which Stefanski calls the plays for and oversees, was frankly one of the worst in the league. Cleveland finished dead last in scoring, averaging just 15 points per game. That's almost unthinkable for a team with playoff aspirations. They were also at the bottom in third down conversion rate, only converting 5% of their attempts. That's a recipe for long drives and frustrating results. And if you think that's bad, they tied for the most turnovers in the league with 34. That's a lot of giveaways, a lot of missed opportunities, and a lot of frustration for everyone involved. The team also had the most punts in the NFL. That's not a good sign when you're supposed to be an offensively capable team. Red zone efficiency was another major problem. They simply couldn't finish drives with touchdowns, which is a fundamental aspect of winning football. Time of possession was also lacking. They couldn't sustain drives or keep their defense off the field. All of this paints a picture of an offense that lacked identity, rhythm, and confidence, no matter who was under center. And that's the harsh reality. Deshaun Watson, when healthy, was supposed to be the franchise quarterback, the guy to lead Cleveland into the postseason and beyond. But last season, Watson looked completely out of sync. Not even a single 20-point game in his 7 starts. That's staggering for a quarterback with his experience and talent. Backup quarterbacks didn't fare much better, cycling through 4 different starters by the end of the season. It's a sign of how unstable and desperate the situation was. The offense was conservative and predictable, and the running game, once a strength with Nick Chubb, never recovered after his injury early in the season. That injury not only hurt the season, but also exposed some of the team's vulnerabilities on offense. Fans and analysts alike criticized the play calling heavily, and it's no secret that frustration grew in the locker room. The chemistry seemed to unravel, and the offense's lack of creativity and execution became a major talking point. Meanwhile, the defense, which had been a real strength under Jim Schwartz, also regressed. Injuries and fatigue took their toll, and the unit that was once feared struggled at critical moments. Poor tackling, blown coverages, you name it. The team just couldn't find consistency, and the wear and tear showed as the season dragged on. In response to this nightmare of a season, the Browns made some off-season moves, firing offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey and offensive line coach Andy Dickerson. That was an attempt to shake things up, to bring some accountability and fresh ideas to the offense. But what's interesting is that despite all the chaos, Kevin Stefanski was retained. That decision probably came because of his prior success and the understanding that injuries heavily impacted the 2024 campaign. Still, it was a short leash from the start. Cleveland's ownership, led by Jimmy Haslam, has never been known for its patience. They want results, and they want them now. The questions about Deshaun Watson's long-term contract and the team's direction only add to the pressure on Stefanski. And with the schedule they face at the start of 2025, things could get even more intense. The Browns open with a brutal 5-game stretch, arguably one of the toughest in the league. Week 2, they're headed to Baltimore to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. That's a team that always plays Cleveland tough, with playoff aspirations of their own. Then in Week 3, they host the Green Bay Packers, with Jordan Love continuing to develop into one of the league's promising young quarterbacks. That matchup is no easy task, especially considering the Packers' rising offensive potential. Week 4 takes them on the road again, this time to face the Detroit Lions, a team that reached the NFC Championship last season and boasts one of the most potent offenses in the league. The Lions are not just a good team, they're a dangerous one, and Cleveland will have to bring everything they've got to keep up. And to top it all off, in Week 5, the Browns will travel across the pond to London to take on the Minnesota Vikings. That's a long trip, adding strain and fatigue, against a team that's solid and capable of causing problems if Cleveland isn't prepared. If things don't improve quickly, especially if they start the season 0-2 or 1-3, the pressure to make a coaching change will intensify. Fans are already on edge, frustrated after years of false starts and unfulfilled promises. And with the upcoming schedule, which includes games against the Packers, Lions, Vikings, and Steelers, the margin for error is razor-thin. The front office might see an early firing of Stefanski as a way to reset and try to salvage what's left of the season, or even to accelerate the coaching search process. It's a move that would signal that the current trajectory is no longer acceptable. What's really at stake here is more than just wins and losses. It's about the identity of the franchise, about whether the Browns can finally put together a consistent, competitive team that can contend for a Super Bowl. And for Stefanski, it's a race against time. His success in Cleveland has been impressive when he's had the pieces, but last year's collapse, combined with this brutal schedule, puts him squarely in the hot seat. The team's ownership, especially Jimmy Haslam, has shown that they're not shy about making tough decisions if results aren't coming. So as we look ahead, we have to ask ourselves, can Kevin Stefanski turn things around? Will he be able to rally the team and find that rhythm again? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a coaching change that might reshape the Browns' future? The next few weeks are critical, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Browns are at a crossroads, and how they handle this early adversity could define the entire 2025 season. Fans are anxious, but they're also hopeful. Hopeful that their team can bounce back, that the coaching staff can get it right, and that finally Cleveland can return to the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you think Kevin Stefanski still has a shot to turn things around, or are you already expecting a change? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're in this journey together, and I promise to keep you informed every step of the way. Whether it's coaching changes, player news, or game analysis, I'll be here to break it all down for you. Thanks for watching, Browns fans, and as always, go Browns.